left 2 poems out of control. I walked my poem to the top of a hill and made it stare out middle distantly until all lower forms of existence distilled, but unguarded it started to roll. The grassy friction of the first meadow also meant for starters the momentum of the thing was slow, but the amenity of a tarmac road meant this poem got out of control. And I still stranded at the top of the slope, countering panic, countenance of a dope, like counterfeit Legos, stacking hope against hope for an impediment, a hole, something, anything to arrest its progress. But like most hopes, this hope was hopeless. Oh man, that was bleaker than I wanted to express. Oh, this is the title second poem that gets out of control. But back to the first, the one on the hill. That one's in a position, we left it still. It was making its way down the hill at will. For us, we remember it was out of control. And then we got me still up at the top, established there was no way for it to stop, and we got as far yet as the bit with a cop when we got distracted by all that rigmarole. No? Oh yeah, I said that weird thing that made us digress. It was like most hopes. This hope was hopeless. Do you think that's... I think a normal person says if they were happy, their life under control? Just let me think for a minute if I really did mean it. I mean, yeah, I wrote it, but do I believe it, or was it just that the rhyme was convenient in the context of that poem that was out of control? Sorry, I knew there was something I was neglecting before I got overtook with that introspecting. If we could go back to collectively recollecting, there was this poem that was out of control. So this was the first poem, like a ball summit, and I left it alone and it started its plummet, and there was me still stood stupidly at the summit. That was the extent of my role. Now, how large is a poem? I don't really know. This is for the open mic, so probably 5 minutes or so. Big enough? Ah, here we are. For a cop to see it. Take to his radio. This is Scar 613. We have a poem out of control. Carlo, units, I'm putting out an APB. Subject appears confused, rhyme Steve AAAB. My God, it's heading towards, this is going to be. So, most hopes are hopeless. That sounds hyperbole. Oh, sorry, hyperbolic. But statistics don't lie, but most hopes are hopeless. Some strange dualism, does that express? Look, I think it might be in everyone's best interest if I get this poem, the one I'm speaking, back under control. See, it's just that I think that I find quite troubling, never mind inadvertently say it aloud in public. I'll sort this quick, old poet trick. Take the pace and double it, then you also might not notice that I've switched to couplets. Okay, do I have any great hopes going unsung? Peace, tolerance, affordable public transport, all the normal ones, but it's not like I feel the weight of these too heavily. We share that burden around me in Miss Worlds of the 70s. So, admittedly, recently I've been dipping back into Nietzsche, and there's no telling the depth of despair that misery got some teacher, but it's only gazing to the abyss, and the abyss will gaze back into you. Now, you can also use the abyss to fly tip hopes into. Maybe it is just the case that all hopes are hopeless, but if this were true, by now you'd hope someone would have noticed. It's always been such a panacea for people of note. You know, they really shouldn't put lies in our inspirational quotes. For instance, hope is a good thing. Maybe of all good things, it's the best of them. Almost, said a non-Morgan Freeman of his Shawshank Redemption. And hope is the thing with feathers, added someone reflectively. Footnote, it was Tim Robbins and Emily Dickinson, respectively. Here's mine then. Maybe one's hopes are hopeless, but to hope is human in that it's innately human to do things against reason. If you were coming fast downhill and you knew the brakes had gone, you'd still run home to keep from knowing what keeping going would involve. Oh, right, downhill. Suppose we should get to the bottom of this. Well, at the literal bottom of this, I'd say something clever about Sisyphus. No. What do I care? I've just found out I'm a pessimist who can't keep his poems under control. Thanks very much.